Mike Moore Media.
On our media line, Derek Southern, Rockingham County Assistant Manager. We're going to get an update today from Derek on Connect Rockingham. Derek, hey, how are you?
I'm doing well.
I know you had a meeting with Charter Spectrum yesterday, so bring us right up to the minute. What's going on with Connect Rockingham?
Yes, sir. We had our monthly meeting that gives us a status update of the project and where we talk about any concerns or major updates. And in the month of July, they had a very productive month and were able to bring 4 of their what they call nodes, which are their work areas, online, which was a total of 480 additional houses. And that total from the month of July and previous projects has now brought up 1,170 total address points that now have access to fiber internet.
Okay, so that sounds pretty good. 1170.
About 1170, yep. Mm-hmm. So we're starting to see a lot of progress with these projects, and we're starting to see basically each month we're seeing 4 to 5 nodes come online that they're releasing for customer access.
Now, explain this, the nodes and the zones they're working in, because people see them and they're working in their neighborhood, and maybe they're not connected yet. So how's that working?
So as part of this project, not only was this a project in Rockingham County to expand internet to areas that do not have internet, they are also taking this project to upgrade their backbones and existing areas to make sure that they have additional capacity. So they like to work in nodes of approximately 100 to all the way up to 250 address points. And the reason they do that is so they can create redundancy. And if there's a failure, it limits the number of people that it's affected. So you will see crews that are out working in an area, and they may run the fiber all the way down your road and be complete, and everything is ready to be hooked up, but your node may not be complete because they may not have a permit or may have some stream crossing or a railroad crossing, which require a much lengthier process for permitting. So, a few areas could hold up a node to come online. So, or we've had some people say that, hey, we saw the guys, they were here a month ago, why can we not get internet? Well, till that complete node, and they are making these nodes where they're redundant, so internet can come from 2 different directions. Till that's complete, they won't bring that node online.
Okay. But if residents see them working out there, that's a good sign.
That is a very good sign. So actually this month, in the month of August, all of the nodes that are remaining to be brought online in Rockingham County, there are crews in each one of those nodes working.
Okay.
So every area that we have identified as part of this project actually has some type of crew. It could be a survey crew, it could be a permit crew, or it could be the guys that are hanging the fiber on poles or burying the lines underground. They all have crews working in their areas.
And how many areas are there across the county, Derek?
There's a total of 33 areas. We do share a couple areas with Caswell County, so we're working in conjunction with projects over there, and that brings it up, I think, to an additional 3 nodes in that area.
Okay, very good. So 33 areas around the county. And for those that may not be keeping up with the timeline on this, when did this start, and when will this be completed?
So the actual contract was signed in January of 22. That first year was a lot of just surveying and understanding what poles were out in the areas that they would be going, documenting all the creeks and road passings so they could apply for permits from the private pole owners or state or railroad owners. So the actual first boots on the ground that we started laying fiber was in the March of 2023. So since March of 2023 to now, they've been able to, like I said earlier, bring 1,170 address points available.
Okay. And this will be wrapped up realistically when?
We are still on target as of our meeting yesterday to be completed with phase 1. I want to emphasize phase 1. in January of 2024.
Okay. So phase 1, January 2024. And at that point, we'll have how many projected address points? How many online then?
They are contracted for 3,400.
3,400.
We think we may be near the 4,000 mark at that point, though.
Okay.
But they are contracted for, in our original agreement in phase 1 was 3,400. Through the process, we've identified additional homes, or we've identified areas that were adjacent to a project where they had capacity to just bring them in. And so we've found enough of that. We think that there could be 500 to 600 more address points than our original plan.
Okay, that's good news.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So moving along, lots of progress in Connect Rockingham. And I know we're excited about it here in our county. Is this going on in other counties around the state too, Derek?
Well, yes and no. We as Rockingham County chose to move forward with local funding with our partners from Reedsville Area Foundation, the school systems, and RCC. So we are way ahead of the game. There are lots of counties that still are waiting on some of the federal funding contracts to be signed. So we may be completed with our phase 1 of our project before some of these other counties even sign a contract to start.
Wow, Rockingham County leading the way again.
We took a different approach, and it's interesting. I get phone calls frequently about other counties asking what we did, how we went about it, what funds we used, because they are looking for options because they're seeing delays in their project.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So if someone needs more information, I know I was looking before you and I spoke on this podcast. There is an update, basically what you're saying here at rockinghamcountync.gov. So there's an update there on Connect Rockingham. But if someone needs more information, is there a phone number, contact that they can get in touch with someone that way?
There is. Hold on one second. I can get you that phone number.
I have a Charter Spectrum number of 833-267-6094. Would that be it, perhaps?
That is the number that will allow a person to establish service.
Okay.
And people can always, if they have a question about it, they can always call me at the office at 336-342-8366.
Okay. All right. So that's your number there at Rockingham County Governmental Center. Okay. Great. Well,
and one thing before we finish, I want to mention to people is we are collecting a list of address points that are in areas that we did not deem eligible in phase 1, that we will be presenting those for a second phase later this year, beginning of next year. We're hoping to be a small amount of people as possible in that phase 2, but we have identified some address points that will be part of a later phase that we will work out with Spectrum going forward.
Okay. So phase 1 should be wrapped up by January of 2024, and then looking at phase 2 and some others that you've identified after that. Okay. Very good. Correct. Anything else we need to mention, Derek?
No, other than, as work crews, we've been lucky with weather. And we have always the concern when a crew is coming down the road that they may do some damage along the right-of-way in front of a resident's home. Just realize that they have a process, and they're trying to work through the rain the best they can to complete this project. And if they do damage to your yard, they have crews that come back as soon as it's dried back up that will repair and put the yard back to the way it was before. We've had a few of those instances, and we've came to successful resolution on most of those.
Yeah, okay, very good. Yeah, things like that will happen, I'm sure, from time to time. I know with your background in the IT world, you're very passionate about this. Why is this so important for Rockingham County residents?
It affects every age group of all of our residents. You've got school children that now have the ability to do virtual classes in different high schools throughout the county that may not be offered in their local area. You have people that are now doing virtual health care. You have residents that we want to move here to enjoy our rural lifestyle, but be able to work from home. So it is all across the board. It affects everyone, and we want everyone to have that opportunity.
When you lay it out that way, it really does affect a broad spectrum of people for sure, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Derek, thank you very much. We appreciate the update, and always good to talk to you. We'll talk again soon.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Okay. You too. Bye. All right. There's an update on Connect Rockingham from Derek Southern. He is Assistant Manager for Rockingham County. Let me give you his direct number again if you have any questions. 336-342-8366. 342-8366. And yes, you can get more information on the county website, rockinghamcountync.gov.